Dad, you know, he's up every morning cutting hot dogs and going out there to feed him. He really enjoys the bird. And he was most upset when he thought he was gone, too, after we came back from vacation.
Creybill! There he is.
This is Creybill, your not-so-average crow. This is Toot, the cat who somehow has a crow for a pet. And this is Francis Crow, head of the Crow family. That's right, his name is really Crow, which makes Creybill feel right at home. Creybill came into the family 5 months ago, and in that short time, he has grown up and become a constant source of enjoyment for the entire family.
Well, when we first had him, he would sit on your shoulder or on your head, but he was a very young bird.
I like to have him around. I like to come out in the morning and be able to sit there and watch him, and he and the cat play and eat, but he's crazy.
Last May, Tim, the youngest son, found Creybill abandoned by his parents, defenseless, and left to fend for himself. Tim befriended the bird and brought him home.
The funny thing I remember very distinctly is that they were coming up the road, the two little boys and the bird hopping up the road, and there were two cats, one on either side of the road. And the boys were trying to protect the bird from the cats.
Getting through the maze of neighborhood cats was only part of the battle. How would Toot, their cat, react to the little bird?
To tell you the truth, I don't think the cat knew what to think of the crow. He was probably too amazed to even think what to do, so he mostly just sat there while the crow jumped back and forth over him.
From the beginning, Toot seemed to tolerate Creybill, and Creybill, in turn, has become quite attached to Toot.
I think the bird might have decided that that was a big black animal, and his parents were probably, this is my idea, that was the big black animal. His parents were big black animals, and there was some similarity there.
Creybill had no mother or father around to teach him how to fly. So Francis took him out to a local football field and proceeded to teach the bird as well as any human could.
We'd go out and pick him up and throw him up in the air, and he'd fly for about 40 feet, and then he'd crash. And we'd pick him up, throw him up again, and so he finally learned how to fly. He hit the barbecue grill out here one evening, and I thought that was the end of the crow. But he survived.
It would seem that Toot and Creybill would be fighting all the time. After all, it's only natural for them to hate each other.
No, they're not enemies. They're friends, and I think they're just playing. But no, I don't think, well, he's never hurt the cat. Well, he's pecked him pretty good a time or two. But for the most part, I don't think either one have hurt the other.
When the crows went on vacation, Creybill didn't like it one bit. When breakfast wasn't served promptly in the morning, he put up quite a racket, cawing and pacing up and down the driveway. He made so much noise that the next-door neighbor, Mrs. Evelyn Tyndall, just had to come down and feed him.
But he's a smart crow, Creybill is. And about 2 days after we had been down there on about 2 different occasions to feed him, he started coming up here. And one Monday morning, we had company leaving, and he was up here in the driveway to see them off, and we brought food down for him then. And he ate here in the driveway.
Since the crows were gone for a couple of weeks, Creybill started hanging around with new friends. He took up with some of the wild crows in the area. They fly around together now, but anytime Creybill decides to come down and take a nibble beside the cat, the other crows just stay where they are.
They sure come around. And whenever he comes down here by the cat, they'll sit up here in the trees and just, call like crazy. And I think what they're trying to say is, hey, dummy, you're not supposed to be down there by that cat.
He likes the cat. He stays near the cat as much as possible. So I think perhaps he's not quite sure that the cat is not his mother or father or whatever.
All good things must pass. So might Creybill. He may leave soon by going south for the winter, or he may stay. Francis isn't sure what he'll do, but he does know Creybill can now survive on his own and be all right, except for one thing.
Our real concern has been that maybe the cat that he's familiar with might be replaced by another cat. And he may not make the difference, and all of a sudden something's going to be jumping on him.
But what if he decides to stay?
I want him to stay if he's going to be all right. I certainly don't want him to freeze to death. I can imagine what this family is going to be like the first morning it goes down to 0 degrees and they're worried about whether the crow is freezing.
Whatever the case may be, if he stays or if he goes, Creybill has definitely brought a little sunshine into the lives of the crows.
We've just enjoyed him so much, and you know, it's a little unique to have your own wild pet. And he's quite a character. He has a very pronounced personality. You get to know him. And I think everybody's very proud of him, and we've had he's given us a lot of pleasure. We've just had a lot of fun with him.
We enjoy all kinds of wildlife, and he's just something else that we've enjoyed. Not everybody gets to go walk out every morning and put something out